Building a full-size Gonk Droid from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope is a fun and rewarding project. Today I'll walk you through the process of crafting your very own, from gathering materials to assembling the body, electronics, and adding the finishing details. Grab your toolbox and get ready to bring this iconic droid to life. We begin our build with two 64-quart clear plastic storage containers by Sterilite. With the outer dimensions of 24 inches in length, 16 inches in width, and 14 inches in height, these containers provide the ideal size to form the body of our Gonk Droid. Here is the upper half of the Gonk Droid's body modified from the storage containers. Before drilling, I ensured that all the parts fit properly in their designated areas. Once confirmed, I carefully used a Dremel with a cut-off wheel to open the cavities for each component. For the silver joining band in the middle, I crafted it from 3/4-inch birch plywood, then built up the upper layer with cardboard to create a base for the polystyrene ring that will cover it, which will give the piece a seamless appearance. Finally, to ensure proper paint adhesion, I sanded all surfaces with 320 grit sandpaper. I begin by priming the entire surface with Rust-Oleum Professional Fast Drying Primer. This creates a strong foundation for the paint to adhere to. Apply multiple coats as necessary, ensuring each layer is smooth and free from overspray drips. Once complete, set the piece aside in a safe, well-ventilated area to dry, allowing it to be ready for the finishing process later. Once the primer cures overnight, apply even coats of Rust-Oleum's Midnight Blue, set it aside in a safe place, and allow it to dry overnight once more. And here's what it looks like. To construct the lower half of the Gonk Droid, I used the other Sterilite container and one 48-inch by 2-inch PVC pipe, cut to a length of 24 inches. This is supported by a 3/4-inch plywood subframe, which will be concealed inside the structure. The subframe features two openings, allowing the PVC pipe to slide through and stabilize the legs. To secure them, I attached 2-inch PVC table leg cap fittings using 1/2-inch flat head sheet metal screws, ensuring a firm hold on the plywood. For added strength, I installed a cross brace for extra support. Finally, I will prime and paint the lower half to match the finished appearance of the upper half. Here is a collection of Greebles for the Gonk Droid build, made up of a variety of everyday components. These include medicine bottle caps, electrical boxes, juice lids, a coffee container lid, and a vegetable container base, alongside several 3D printed pieces. Additionally, the droid's backpack features two Coke bottles cut and taped together. To mimic the 1977 Gonk Droid toy from A New Hope, I selected Rust-Oleum's Midnight Blue in a satin finish, which includes both paint and primer in one formula. This eliminates the need for a separate priming step before application. To achieve even coverage, be sure to spray from all four sides of the parts, and always wear proper protective gear to guard against paint fumes. Once all the parts are painted, set them aside and allow them to fully cure overnight. Next, we work on the 3D printed feet. For this step, I will use Rust-Oleum Professional Fast Drying Primer. Again, spray on an even coat from all sides to prevent any drips and touch up as necessary. And this is what they look like. For the finishing coat of the feet, I used Rust-Oleum Metallic Silver. Make sure to spray an even amount from all sides to ensure proper coverage. Don't forget to hit those hard-to-reach spots. Off camera, I trimmed these wooden blocks to serve as foot supports for the Gonk Droid's feet. I then attached 2-inch PVC table leg cap fittings using 1/2-inch flat head sheet metal screws. These fittings will create a snug friction fit with the 2-inch PVC pipes that support the droid structure. Now let's paint the medicine bottle caps. For these, I'll use the Rust-Oleum Midnight Blue again. Make sure to spray them from all sides, especially in those hard-to-reach interior gaps. And this is what they look like. Set them aside to cure overnight. At this stage, I removed the mask with an X-Acto knife that protected the red and blue front lenses, which will be illuminated from the inside with LEDs. Here, I'm in the process of installing 12-volt LED blinking lights into the red lens cap, which has been repurposed from a medicine bottle cap with a red lens placed inside. Carefully, I guide each of the 4 LED bulbs through the styrofoam openings and securely press them into position. This process is repeated for the second lens cap, which features a blue lens. Both caps will be mounted at the front of the droid, contributing to the overall illusion. Once all the parts have been painted and completely dried, I begin assembling the Greebles. I start with the 3D printed backpack holder, ensuring the correct orientation, and carefully insert all 4 machine-threaded 1/4 by 4-inch screws through its inner openings. Next, I take the 2-liter Coke bottles joined at the middle and attach the red bottle caps to each end. I've pre-drilled 5/8-inch holes through the caps for the hose to fit through, which will be inserted in the final assembly. Then, I take the 3D printed part from the previous step and slide it into place. It's a tight friction fit, so no adhesive is required to secure it. Afterward, I assemble the upper left Greeble using a coffee lid, a juice lid, and a roll-on deodorant bottle cap. The entire assembly is securely fastened with a 4-inch machine-threaded screw. The droid socket at the front is constructed from a vegetable container lid, a juice lid, and a medicine bottle cap. These components are securely fastened together using mechanical fasteners as in the previous step. To illuminate the droid's path, I added a removable LED flashlight that plugs into a 12-volt socket with wire leads. The flashlight snaps securely into the 3D printed housing, which is positioned on the upper left side of the droid. At this point, I decided to add Greebles to the upper half of the Gonk Droid. The 2 medicine bottle caps will serve as gateways for the corrugated hose to go through, enhancing the overall effect. To power the interior electronics of the droid, 2 plastic grommets will be used. Due to the snug fit, I 3D printed a matching ring on the inside to secure them in place. On top, I'm installing the 3D printed speaker housing with 4 socket screws, starting by placing them diagonally. Next, I locate the screws from the inside and secure them with hex nuts. Check the assembly by tugging on it. Using a 1/2-inch corrugated hose, insert one end behind the 3D printed speaker assembly. Once positioned, secure the hose in place with adhesive cable ties. To do this, position the tie where needed, slide the fastener over the hose, and tighten it to hold the hose securely in place. Now, continue threading the hose with the cable tie, guiding it into and through the opening in the medicine bottle cap. Test the electrical connection to make sure it works. Take the orange EVA foam sheet, peel off the backing from the double-sided tape, then align it as needed and press firmly to secure it in place. Using a foam spacer as a guide, align it with the previous foam panel. Remove the backing from the adhesive side, then press it firmly into place to secure it. Repeat for the small upper panel. I use painter's tape to mark the position of the upper back foam panels. Then, I remove the adhesive backing and press them firmly into place. It's now time to install the 3-inch flexible aluminum dryer hose over the 2-inch PVC pipe. I cut an 18-inch section of the hose and slide it onto the pipe, ensuring the spirals are evenly spaced throughout. Slide the 3D printed foot onto the PVC pipe and tuck the flexible dryer hose into the foot's opening. Gently tap the 2-inch PVC table leg cap onto the PVC pipe with a rubber mallet to ensure a snug fit. Then, lift the foot up and secure it in place. Cut a 24-inch section of 1/2-inch split wire loom tubing and insert one end into the 3D printed foot. Then, feed the other end through the bottom opening as shown. I will use a sheet of polystyrene for the silver ring that goes around the midsection of the Gonk Droid.
5 minutes later.
Here are the strips that I will heat and bend into shape. I crafted a corner jig from wood to match the radius of the silver middle seam. After aligning the polystyrene strip with the edge of the wood, I clamped it in place to secure it. Then, using a heat gun, I carefully heated the plastic to bend it into the desired radius. To protect my hands from burns, I wore an oven mitt while handling the heated plastic. Before securing it in place with screws, I double-checked that all the parts fit together smoothly and the seams were perfectly aligned. To attach the polystyrene, I first aligned the top edges. Then, I drilled a pilot hole using a drill bit to prevent the plywood from splitting. Next, I used a countersink bit to recess the screw head. Finally, I fastened everything in place with 1-inch coarse drywall screws. Next, I mix Bondo with the blue hardener, ensuring they are thoroughly combined. This mixture will cover the screw holes and imperfections on the polystyrene ring, creating a seamless surface. I am now applying the Bondo mixture evenly to both the sides and top edge using a plastic spatula. Apply the filler smoothly and evenly across the surface to minimize sanding later. Remember to wear proper protective gear to prevent any contact with the mixture on your skin or clothing. I used Rust-Oleum flat black primer and apply an even coat over the center silver belt. Make sure to spray evenly to ensure uniform coverage. After the primer dried, I applied a bright silver top coat, also by Rust-Oleum, to enhance the Gonk Droid silver belt. For the electrical components, I opted for a robust on-off power switch that activates an internal power supply, converting 110 volts AC to 12 volts DC. This 12-volt power converter is used to operate a Bluetooth projector, controlled via a mobile app. To manage the power distribution, I included a 4-way 12-volt marine rocker switch that controls the activation of the flashlight, blinking LEDs, and motion detector audio system for the Gonk Droid. Now the moment of truth has finally arrived. Will it work? Power on. And there you have it, my take on the iconic Star Wars EG-6 power droid, more commonly known as a Gonk Droid. In addition to the signature sounds and lights, my version features a rechargeable and removable flashlight, front charging ports for your cell phone, and a 12-volt auxiliary power outlet. But the real standout is the Wi-Fi-enabled portable mini projector, which offers an impressive 130-inch projection screen. This addition creates a truly immersive experience, transforming any space into your personal cinema for movies and entertainment, all powered through your phone. In order to support the channel, please visit our Etsy store at toyandpropmasters.etsy.com, where you'll find something for everyone. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, comment, and share so you can be notified of upcoming projects. Happy building, and I'll see you next time.